Now, when you're talking about the division of an estate, the first thing that comes to mind oftentimes is a home. And what happens to the marital home? When you have a person come in and ask you, what's going to happen to our marital home? How does the marital home get divided? What do we do with the proceeds of that home? How do you answer those types of questions in dealing with that?
The first question I always ask when someone asks me that is, do you want to stay in the home? That's going to determine everything else. If the party has no interest in staying in their home, then we look to whether the other party wants to stay there. If they do, then a refinance is going to have to occur because we're going to have to get one party or the other off of the mortgage because it's a joint obligation and we need to make sure that one person carries that obligation moving forward if they're going to stay in the home. If neither party wants to stay in the home, then we're going to help the parties to enlist a broker to sell the home. We have several real estate resources and professionals that we work with, in particular in this office, that really help to guide us in that process. We don't want to presume that we're experts in that area. We want to lean on our resources to get those answers.
And what happens to the equity in a home?
The equity is an asset to be divided by the parties. If we look at the totality of the estate and in the most basic way, the home has a value of $300,000 and an existing mortgage of $250,000, we do a subtraction problem. $300,000 minus $250,000 gives us our available equity. And that's $50,000. Since there are two parties in the marriage, divide by two, and each party has an undivided half interest in that $50,000.
What is your best advice when it comes to selling a home? Do parties sell the home prior to the divorce? Do they sell it during the divorce? Do they sell it after the divorce?
It's a really good question. I think, again, I'd circle back to what I said earlier. We want to engage professionals, other professionals, as soon as possible, if that's the case. First, to determine the market conditions. It's going to be a different story if the divorce is happening in January versus if the divorce is happening in June, because you're going to see a hot market or a cold market, and that market condition is going to determine the available equity on the sale. I think the best piece of advice I can provide is probably in the form of guidance, which is there's no hard and fast rule about when you can or have to sell the home. You can sell it prior to filing for divorce. You can sell it during the process, and we can sell it post-divorce. We just have to make sure that we document it properly. And that's the one mistake everyone makes, is they go and do it, and then they enlist lawyers afterward, after they've done it, to try to figure out what problems they created. Best practice, go see an attorney ahead of time, and they can take care of it in one clean action.